On March 20, 2025, President Trump issued a groundbreaking executive order. This order aims to close the Department of Education. This decision marks a significant shift in American education policy. It reflects a growing belief that a centralized, federal approach has not served students well. This bold move has sparked both praise and criticism. Supporters believe it will empower parents and local communities. They argue that decisions about education are best made closer to home. Critics, however, express concerns about potential funding cuts and a possible decline in educational standards. The executive order cites several reasons for shutting down the Department of Education. One key factor is the belief that federal control has failed to improve student outcomes. Despite decades of federal involvement and billions of dollars spent, American students continue to lag behind their international peers in core subjects like reading and math. The decision to close the Department of Education is rooted in data. The National Assessment of Educational Progress, or NAEP, reveals a troubling reality. A staggering 70% of 8th graders are not proficient in reading. Even more alarming, 72% of 8th graders fall below proficiency in math. These statistics paint a bleak picture of the state of American education. Critics of the current system argue that federal overreach is a significant part of the problem. They point to a bloated bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. that is out of touch with the unique needs of individual students and communities. The Department of Education's own spending habits have also come under fire. For example, the department's public relations office alone has a budget of $10 million. This raises questions about misplaced priorities. The current system, critics argue, prioritizes compliance over innovation. It burdens teachers with excessive paperwork and stifles creativity in the classroom. Instead of a one-size-fits-all approach dictated from Washington, proponents of closing the Department of Education envision a system where local communities have more autonomy. This would allow states and school districts to tailor their curricula and teaching methods to the specific needs of their students. The closure of the Department of Education signifies a return to the principles of federalism. Education was historically a matter left to the states. The Department of Education was a relatively recent creation, established in 1979 under President Jimmy Carter. Proponents of the closure argue that returning control to the states will lead to greater accountability. Local school boards, they contend, are more directly answerable to parents and taxpayers. This closer relationship, they believe, will foster a greater sense of ownership and responsibility for the quality of education. Furthermore, advocates for local control emphasize the importance of diversity in education. They believe that a decentralized system allows for a wider range of educational approaches and philosophies to flourish. This, they argue, will ultimately benefit students by providing them with a greater variety of learning options tailored to their individual needs and interests. A central theme in the push to close the Department of Education is the empowerment of parents. Advocates believe that parents should have the primary say in their children's education. They argue that parents are in the best position to understand their children's unique strengths, weaknesses, and learning styles. The closure of the Department of Education, they contend, will give parents more choices. They envision a system where parents can use government funds to choose the educational options they believe are best for their children. This could include traditional public schools, charter schools, private schools, or even homeschooling. By giving parents greater control over educational decisions, proponents of this shift believe that schools will become more responsive to the needs of families. They envision a future where parents are active participants in their children's education, working collaboratively with teachers and school administrators to create the best possible learning environments.